Hello, John Ezra Sports Channel here with week 35 of the Championship, and we're going to go straight in because we're going to do a nice quick one for you. It's late and we've got Sheffield Wednesday coming up tonight. Sheffield Wednesday versus Sunderland. Let's go straight into it. Now, Sheffield Wednesday, obviously, in 13th position. Sunderland in 4th. You would expect, with a huge points difference in there, we are near the end of the season, of course, that you'd probably be looking at a Sunderland win. However, in the last 4 games, Sunderland have only won 1 game. They've actually gone drawn, win, lose. But one lose was against Leeds 2-1. Yeah, well, we'll forget that one. And the other one was against Hull, which we can think about that. They didn't play as well as what they could have done there, and went down to an own goal. I just don't think that they really did the most out of what they were creating. 17 chances, 2 on target, 61% of possession. They ran the race. They ran that game absolutely ragged, but didn't manage to get anything from it. and on the Wednesday side, Wednesday at home are usually really good, but away they can be a little bit iffy. They were away at Burnley, 4-0 defeat. What's their last 6? Win, draw, lose, win, lose. Again, similar to Sunderland, they had Leeds. These had Burnley. They got a little bit trounced. I think 4-0. It could have been a little bit more than that. Sheffield Wednesday, I don't think really ever got into the grips of this game, although they had more shots at target. The shots on target were 4 on target for Burnley, 4 in the net, 2 on target for Wednesday, none in the net. They seem to get a little bit more shots off, but on the whole, I thought that Burnley really did know what they were doing. 64% possession just tells me that they were just taking it easy, a little bit like Birmingham do sometimes in League One. Now, what do I think this game's going to be? Because there's lots of 2s and 1s scored and let in for either team in here, and I think that it could be quite difficult. We're thinking of 2 teams that are just not firing as well as they can do. Although I would be preferring Sunderland. Sheffield Wednesday are usually quite good at home. The last time out at home, they lost 2-1 to Coventry. But I'm going to say that they're not going to do that too often this season. Have a bad match at home 2 or 3 games in a row. Let's think about this. At the time before that was Luton 1-1 as well at home. So I can't see them going a 3rd one without a win at home. It's just not like Sheffield Wednesday. However, they are playing a very good side in Sunderland. I'm going to go with Sheffield Wednesday 2, Sunderland 2, and we'll move on to the next game on Saturday. Do apologise for the cough. I did have meningitis when I was 40 and it shot my lungs. Blackburn versus Norwich is the first game at 12:30. Now, Blackburn have had the run of the green. Then it sort of went against them a little bit, and then it's come back a little bit more recently. They don't seem to, I think, played much different in a style of football or technicality. They seem to be quite stable, which is a good sign, and it's a good thing. What will they be doing? Win, lose, win, lose. Swansea City was the last time out, and it was a defeat. Swansea 3, Blackburn 0. However, Blackburn had slightly more possession, but Swansea did more with their 46%. They actually got 14 shots off, 5 on target, 3 in the net, Swansea. Whereas Blackburn, 6 shots, 2 on target, none in the net. Just the run of the green just didn't go for them. Norwich City, well, they've been up and down, haven't they? They've been playing a little bit rough, a bit like my chest at the minute. Win, draw, lose, draw, win. But the win was a 4-2 against Stoke, and we know Stoke can let goals in, and we know they can score. And here they did both. They let goals in and they scored. I will say this about Blackburn: they've got a really good defence on the whole. Okay, 3 goals let in at the last time. What am I talking about? But on the whole, they have a pretty solid defence. Usually, and probably because the run of the green goes for them. I can't see this being a really high scoring game. There may be 2 or 3 goals in it. Which way do I think it's going to go? Yeah, I think that Blackburn will have the run of the green again, because Norwich, to me, they're a little bit up and down. Great last time out. The last time they won by that amount, 5-1 at Swansea. They won 1-0 at Watford straight after, and that was away as well. But I'm still thinking that Blackburn will just have the edge here. Blackburn 2, Norwich 1. And we'll go to the next game, which is Leeds versus West Brom. Now, this is a humdinger of a game. Leeds United are on fire. Win, lose against Millwall. What happened there? Win. And then you got West Brom, win, lose, draw, win. They're all over the bloody place, aren't they? Drawthorns. When I started saying Drawthorns for West Brom at home, all of a sudden it stopped and they were winning or losing and no draws. There's only 1 draw in the last 6 games, and it was away at Millwall. So I just see a side that can do really well, 5-1 against Portsmouth, and then blow it 2-1 away at Plymouth, and then do well against Sheffield Wednesday, 2-1, and then against a sort of average side, I think, that's just getting the run of the green, Blackburn, they lose 2-0. I think that Leeds have the bit, though, don't they? I think it's how many. I think they might replicate the last win, the Sheffield United 3-1. I'm going to go for Leeds United 3, West Brom 1. I think they will score. Absolutely. Oxford versus Coventry. Oh dear, excuse me. The Oxford team obviously lost last time out against West Brom, we've just seen, and Coventry won against Preston. Now, I think Preston marked 3 wins on the trot for Coventry. Can they can they do it again? We have to look at the number of goals they've let in. So, well, if we take out the Ipswich FA Cup game, it's none, 2, but against Leeds, 0, 1, 1. They don't let many in the actual Championship. So, to me, Coventry's defence is going to run this one, and it's going to be a case of, do they let one in? Do they not let one in? Looking at the goal scoring on Oxford's side, I'm going to say not, and I'm going to go with Oxford 0, Coventry 2, and we'll move on. I just think that Coventry got a little bit too much, and they can score, but their defence is too good for the Oxford team at the minute. So we go on to Luton versus Portsmouth. This is an important game. If Portsmouth can win this one, they're going to be on 41 points. 42 points even. I was just trying to calculate it. 42 points, which is really very close to being safe. With Plymouth in 22nd on 30 points. Luton are on the bottom on 28. They need this just to get within striking distance of Hull in 20th position, even if they assuming Hull don't get any points, it's going to be really difficult because Luton are at home. They're wanting to do well. Portsmouth, though, have had 3 wins in a row, and realistically, if you look at the 3 before, Millwall defeat, Burnley draw, Sheffield Wednesday defeat, and then a win, Cardiff, Oxford, QPR. Mid-table teams, I suppose you can say they're sort of lower mid-style teams, aren't they? Against Luton, lose, draw, lose, draw, lose. They just don't seem to be able to get something out. I tell you what, their defence is actually not too bad. 1s and 2s, not too bad. However, that's exactly what Portsmouth are hoping to score, just 1 or 2. And it just screams at me with the table, with the number of goals that Luton have been scoring. I just think that, just have a quick scan at the last games for each one. Yeah, I think that we're going to see Luton Town 1, Portsmouth 2, and we'll go marching on together at Portsmouth. Well, we'll go Borough Derby next, and Borough, I really thought they were going to be so much better. Derby, they got rid of their manager, and I thought they were going to really get some impetus and get out of that bottom 3, because we know the style of Warney. It should have been improvable at that point. It's not really turned out that way. Derby are in 23rd, 29 points. Borough are in 11th with 47. But even 3 points can get them to equal with Coventry on at 7th position. So on 50 points. So it's not totally out of the question that they can get back in it, but they have to start winning. They just don't. They seem to be getting a few cards as well, and I'm sort of a bit puzzled at that, why they get so many. But they do seem to be getting the odd card, and you're thinking, are they going into tackles a little bit? It's almost like they're going into it to prove that they can do that style of football. It's not all technical and glamour at the top. They can do the sort of mid-bottom half football, which is a little bit more heavy, a little bit more gritty and tough tackles. Borough lose, win at Stoke City 3-1. Like I said, they can let goals in, Stoke. So, who's better to score them than a good Borough side? And a good Borough side can score goals. And they have backup for most of any injuries that Borough have got. I can guarantee they've got someone behind there that is almost as good for every single position. It would take it would take 1 or 2 positions to have the first team player out, the reserve team player out, and the backup out. Do tell me, Borough and Derby fans, do you have that situation yet? I've not been hearing it on the news, but I haven't got time to go going through all the different stats. So I don't always grab that information. So please do like, subscribe, and give me a little comment down below the pair of you. We're going to Derby County, and lose, draw, lose. This really doesn't bode well, does it? I think you can tell where I'm going from this. Derby County have just done a couple of draws there, which have, to me, they actually said that, hey, we're actually starting to turn this around. But then they got slaughtered against QPR, and they got lost against Millwall 90 plus 5 minutes. They must be absolutely distraught. Because up to then, okay, they hadn't had any shots on target, Derby, and Millwall had 4. But you can tell 4 shots on target throughout the entire 90 minutes. And you're thinking, well, 3, because that was on 90 plus 5 that it went in. It's not very good for the fans. This one, to me, was the most boring game to watch as I watched it on going through on Saturday. I'm thinking, this is not good. But it's that boring part of it, the element of it that I saw against Millwall that drives me to think, if anybody's going to win it, it's going to be Borough. Because they don't play boring football, and they do try and brighten things up. At least they've got an entertaining football, even if they lose. For that reason, I'm going to go Borough 1, Derby 0. I was edging on 1-1, but I think it could be 1-0. QPR versus Sheffield United next, and QPR lose, win, lose. They're okay, aren't they? QPR 14th. They're really on the beach, aren't they? Let's face it. with 12 games to go, they can probably get to just about 5th or 6th if they start on a really good winning run. So they could still do it. It's that flat. Will they do it? Yeah, I wouldn't put it against them. They came out of the bottom 3, didn't they, the other year when we were in the Championship, and look how fast they rocketed out of the bottom 3. And they were in the middle by the time we finished the season. Yeah, they could, absolutely. I don't think they will against this Sheffield United side, though. Sheffield United is second. They're already on 70 points, 12 games to go. What do we think? QPR, lose, win, lose. Up and down. Win against Derby 4-0, really good. A lose against Portsmouth 2-1, and Portsmouth really controlled that. But they're doing it at home. Portsmouth are doing exactly that at home. So QPR, I think, underestimated the likes of Portsmouth, thinking it would be an easy run, and it wasn't. That's what it looked like. I'm sort of down the road from Portsmouth. That's the feeling that the fans here got, that you just underestimated them, and they managed to take you to town for it. Sheffield United, lose, win, lose against Leeds United. I think they're going to have too much here against QPR. By how much? Well, they started to score more than 2, and up to now it's been like, up to a few weeks ago, it was 1 or 2 goals. I think it's going to be QPR 1, Sheffield United 3, the other way round from the Leeds game, in fact. And then we'll go to the last of the Saturdays. Yes, it is. Stoke City versus Watford. Stoke City in 20th position, really, just 5 points away from that drop zone. But, you know, they've got the ability to score. And whenever you've got the ability to score, you should be able to keep out of that bottom 3. But they have some howlers in the back row, don't they? Not only from the defence, but from the goalie we gave you. I'm sorry. Watford are in 9th, 48 points. They're now not too far away. There's a bit of a gap opening up here between sort of Coventry in 7th and Watford in 9th. Okay, it's only 2 points, but to me, that's where this gap is sort of opening up between Coventry, Bristol City, Watford and Norwich. And I think somewhere in there's going to be a big gap opening up. Borough, Millwall may sort of... Borough certainly could get into that top half of the gap, but there's a gap opening up around that area. And Watford want to make sure they're not on the wrong side of that gap. They need to be just behind Blackburn in 6th, and at the minute 3 points there certainly are. So Watford have got the tails up here. They really wanted to make sure they finish the season well, and they've done it. The last 2 games they've looked really slick. They didn't look slick against Leeds, 4-0 defeat, but against Borough 1-0 and Luton 2-0. Okay, people say, yeah, but they're at the bottom, they should be beating them by more. Luton have always been a side that tend not to score very many, but they just plug away nice and gently, and they make sure they win the game and get 3 points whenever they can. Quite often it works. They've had a poor period, but most teams have a poor period of about 6 games. Watford have had theirs. Stoke City seem to be just in a bit of a doldrums. Don't seem to be showing signs of getting out of it. Stoke City win, draw, lose, win, lose. The 2 last games, they've let in 7 goals, Stoke City, and it's not looking good. 4-2 defeat away at Norwich, 3-1 defeat at home to Borough. This Stoke side just doesn't look very good. Watford, lose, draw, lose, and those 2 wins, win. Just telling me that they're slightly turning it around. I'm going to go for Stoke City 2, Watford 3, and I think that's a bloody... I bet the odds for that are quite good. Okay, and that's the end of that one. And that's the end of Saturday. So we're going to close it there, and it's John S's Sports Channel over with a Championship prediction video. I thought we'd do another last minute. Hopefully you enjoy it. Like and subscribe. We'll get you some more. As simple as that. Join us at Sports Channel. Like and subscribe.